Yeah, right. United Matters channel it is. Brentford versus Man United match preview. Here it comes with Rock and David onto the United Matters channel. Hope you guys are really having a fantastic evening where you are. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we bring you the latest news and information as far as Manchester United is concerned. We'll be back from international break, and we thank God that this international break is not going to hate to treat us bad, because the only injured who went ahead to really gate as Man United has been that of Harry Maguire. That is it. Harry Maguire has been the only injury we've gone ahead to get as the side of Man United. And we are really excited to inform you that we are really up and running as the side of Man United to see to it that we get ourselves into that ilk of really seeing that this player is really the only one injured. Marcus Rashford is also really having a knock, and we're going to see what the side of Man United has to say about that. But all in all, I would like to thank everyone for what is going to hate to be portrayed as the fans of Man United, to stand with Eric Ten Hag. I've gone ahead to run lots of polls on different social media platforms, and guess what? It has turned out to be a Man United effort, and fans alike, we want our manager to stay, and he's going nowhere. That's what we've gone ahead to get from you. And we are welcoming back the Premier League. That is it. And it's gonna be Brentford, and it's gonna be played on Saturday. You know we do this 2 days to the game. Now, the Muslims, Ramadan Mubarak. To the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Happy Holy Thursday. Tomorrow is Good Friday. Holidays are kick-starting in for 4 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So what a long holiday for people to obviously rest. But here, we aren't gonna rest. We are gonna be bringing you the latest news and information, because after playing on a Saturday, even on Thursday, we are gonna be playing out at Stamford Bridge. And we last played in the Premier League, and we beat we beat Everton by 2-0, and then we played in the FA Cup. We went ahead to beat Liverpool by 4-3, and we return with a very huge bang in the mix to see to it that we get ourselves up and running into this mix of Man United. For Brentford, they've been playing in the Premier League, and they played against Burnley in their last game they played, and the results were as follows. Burnley beat Brentford away by 2-1 for a long period of time. Burnley had not gone ahead to win a game of football, but they went ahead to win this one. But it shows you that Brentford has gone ahead to be having a very bad run, because they last won a game when they beat Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home by 2-0. But after that, they lost to Liverpool by 4-1. They lost to Man City by 1-0. They lost to West Ham by 4-2. They drew with Chelsea 2-2. They were beaten by Arsenal 2-1. They were beaten by Burnley 2-1, meaning that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the previous 7 games, Brentford have not gone ahead to win any game, and they are lying 15th on the Premier League table, and they need to obviously pull up their stockings. But Man United went ahead to lose to Man City and Fulham, then later won against Everton. We are into the 6th position with 47 points, 28 games of football really played. And when you look at the Man United fixtures, they are coming in thick and fast, and they are playing the side of Brentford. But before play Brentford, other games of teams that we're really competing with are going to be played. For example, on Saturday, I think Spurs is going to be playing before we play. That is it, because for us, we're going to play at 23 hours. Spurs are going to be playing at 18 hours in there for you. Aston Villa will also be playing at 2:30. So these are the teams that you're going to be looking at. Tottenham Hotspur hosting Luton Town, and Aston Villa hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now we'll go into this game of football knowing our stance. Remember, we are we are 8 points. That is it. Is it 8, 9 points behind Aston Villa and 6 points behind Tottenham Hotspur? But for Aston Villa, they've gone ahead to play 1 game ahead of us. If at all win that game in hand, then Man United will find itself in a position of really finding itself winning that beautiful game of football and really going up and down. So we wait to see how that pans out, and that really takes us to what we call the team news, and it's being brought to us by none other than this is the Sportsmore, right? So let's start off with Man United. They've told us that Man United is FA Cup savior Amad Diallo got a bit too carried away during the raucous celebration after his goal, taking his shirt off while already on a yellow card, meaning that he also has a one-match ban to serve. The Ivorian have only taken up residence on the bench in any case, but 3 regular starters: Harry Maguire unspecified, Casemiro is having a knock, Lisandro Martinez is having an injury, and are all touch and go at this stage. Touch and go meaning that they can't really come in and really do the needful. Atiel Bendaine and Johnny Evans are also some of the doubts, but Luke Shaw is out, is having a muscle injury. Anton Martial is out, is having a groin injury. Terrell Malacia is having an injury, and these ones are really out of contention. That is it. And even Harry Maguire joins them to be out of contention. But Lisandro Martinez flew all the way back from America, where Argentina was really playing its game of football from, and he is available. Then Johnny Evans, I think, is available. Casemiro, he might be available because he's going to hit to rest for now 2 to 3 weeks without kicking the game of football in there. So those are the players that are really out of this game of football for Man United, but the rest of the players are here to do the job for the club of Man United. Let's go to the side of Brentford. Owing to his last man foul and sending off at Turf Moor, Sergio Hojlund, who spent the first half of the season on loan at Man United, must have his 1-game suspension this weekend, meaning that Sergio Hojlund is out of the tie between Man United and Brentford. Then Kevin Shadi is having a groin injury. Ben Mee is having an ankle injury. Rico Henry is having an injury. Josh Da Silva is having an injury, and Aaron Hickey is having a thigh injury as the hosts define absentees, while the availabilities of Christian Nogard, Ethan Pinnock remain clouded in uncertainty. So it's clouded in uncertainty whether they're going to be back. Nogard is having a back injury, and Ethan Pinnock is having an ankle injury. So if that cloud clears up, then he might really make it to the starting 11 of Brentford, and never say never. But the big boost for Brentford is Bryan Mbeumo made his first appearance since December during the loss to Burnley, earning 11 minutes as a substitute following his severe ankle injury. And the Cameroonian should be in contention too, or for a return to the first 11 thanks to the 2-week pause. So that is Mbeumo. Mbeumo coming back is with a very huge boost for the side of Brentford, because he's really a very good guy. But he returns when even Man United is going to hate to really have its guns back, especially Bissaka available to cover up onto the left back, and Dallo covering onto the right back. If it only came in through him, it's going to be Lindelof playing on the right back. It would have gone hate to be really bad, but Bissaka can really do the job onto that side. Let's get into the probable starting 11 for the club of Man United as we take on Brentford on. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on. It's a Saturday. That is Saturday. 25 hours. That is it. It's going to be a late kick starter. System 4-2-3-1 for the club of Man United, and we all know that it's going to be Andre Onana in goal. That is it. 8 clean sheets kept this season, and he's really vying to make others. And with the Lisandro Martinez back, if at all he gets into this team and we organize ourselves very well, I think we can easily keep a clean sheet away at Brentford. Remember, last season, Brentford beat us at the stadium by 4-0, but we come here strong, and we've gone ahead to beat them in the other games. Even when they're trying to beat us at Old Trafford this season, Scott McTominay came off the bench and scored 2 goals in a space of like 3 minutes and went ahead to win that game of football. That is Andre Onana. Right back, it's going to be Diego Dallo. He played well in the team of Portugal. I saw him trying to put in an average of 3 crosses per half. That was really great for him, and we anticipated that he's going to be really up and running onto this fixture. That is Diego Dallo, and he's going to be doing the needful. Left back, it's going to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me to do that job, because we know he's really good at that. Even at Liverpool, he played there very well and closed there very well. Dallo is the best right back right now for me in the league. He's really doing things that are really beautiful and good for the eye. And kudos to Jose Mourinho, who scouted this player and forced Man United to sign him from FC Porto. Now, you put Bissaka to play onto this side because Mbeumo is going to be playing that side. And for me, if you're having Dallo on the right and Bissaka on the left, whoever comes in through, I know they can really curb him and really swamp him up and stop him. I know they'll cloud all his attacks into that position. Then we go to the central defense. I think it's going to be Varane. Remember, he retired from international football. He has been rested and really on a holiday, and then returned early this week at Carrington to train. He's going to be played as a right-sided centre-back. And then Victor Lindelof will obviously play as a left-sided centre-back. That is it, because he went ahead to play 180 minutes in the 2 games that Sweden went ahead to play in the international break, putting him in a perfect position to come in through and really take us to where we deserve to be as a side of Man United. They're going to be facing Ivan Toney. I believe they can really curb him up. In the midfield double pivot, I think Casemiro returns. I know he's really going to return because he just went ahead to really stop himself from playing against Liverpool, to obviously hold up a lot of himself and reserve himself for the remaining games of the season, because they're really very important for the club of Man United. Casemiro knows that all we want to do is to be playing the Champions League. In the next season, if at all he stays at the club of Man United, Casemiro wants to be playing into the Champions League. Then we go to Kobbie Mainoo. He went ahead and played 67 minutes against Belgium, and he was taken off fully fit to obviously come back and really tussle it out into that midfield for the club of Man United. So that is going to be the double pivot for Man United, taking that of Jensen's and so the Onyekas of this world. It's really going to be a very huge midfield battle, but I know with those players, we are going to win it. If Casemiro doesn't make it, I think it's going to be Scott McTominay starting into that game of football and not Amrabat. The moment Ten Hag started Scott McTominay, the game of Liverpool, it showed you that Scott McTominay is ahead of Amrabat. And I don't know whether Ten Hag will try to observe that you're playing away from home, but I think if Casemiro is out, then obviously it's going to be that man. And it's going to be Scott McTominay in the mix. Then Garnacho onto the right attacking side of the midfield. Obviously played against El Salvador and I think Costa Rica, and he made his first start for the side of Argentina and played some good games in his legs. He's back training with Man United. Tomorrow is going to be the press conference, and trust me, he's going to play as a right attacking midfielder. Left attacking midfielder, Marcus Rashford, although he really got a knock and never played in the game of Belgium, we anticipated that he is really fully fit. If at all he's not fully fit, then Ten Hag will try to play Garnacho onto the left attacking side of the midfield, and Anthony to play as a right attacking midfield. But I'd love to see Marcus Rashford onto the pitch, because that trio of Rashford and Garnacho plus Rasmus Hojlund, the moment they start, we haven't gonna hit to lose a game. Bruno Fernandes rested for a full week. You know, he last played on Tuesday, I think last week, and ever since then he was released by his national team to obviously rest a little bit, and he has been resting, and he's returning to Carrington, a freshman. Captaining the side of Man United against Brentford is really going to be important into that ilk. Then who is leading the line? Rasmus Hojlund played 2 games against Switzerland and Faroe Islands, and he played, the first game he played 90 minutes. Was it 90? Then the second game he played like 20 minutes in there for you. He's fully fit to come in through and really fire up against the side of Brentford. And remember, 6 consecutive Premier League games he was scoring, and he has gone ahead to miss out on a couple against Man City, against Everton, against Fulham. He missed out like on 4 Premier League games. That is Rasmus Hojlund for you, but he returns in a game of football where we expect him to come in through and torment the side of Brentford. So we wait to see how that is going to pan out, but that is the probable starting 11 for the club of Man United, according to me, and this is how I want us to line up. If I told you line up like that, I think this game will be for us to win. Before I go into what we call the before I go into what we call the what is it called? Before we go into what we call the prediction, because most of you are really asking and waiting to see what is the prediction Rokan is going to tell us for this game of football, allow me go into these head-to-head stats via BBC. That Brentford have lost 7 of their past 9 league meetings with Man United, but they did win their but they did win this fixture 4-0 last season. Here they beat us. Second game of Erik ten Hag, he was beaten by Brentford badly. Then United's 7 visits to Brentford have produced 13 goals, an average of 4.3 per game. Both of their top flight defeats at the Bees have been by a 4-0 scoreline. October 1936 and August 2022. Then Erik ten Hag's side have won just one of their past 8 Premier League away games against London sides and have lost 4 of their past 5. By the way, in London, we've gone ahead to really fail to win there very many times. When we talk about teams in London, we mean Crystal Palace, Brentford, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, Fulham. And I think Fulham is the team that we've gone ahead to beat, in London ever since Ten Hag came in through and obviously took part in the Premier League. That is it. So, as it stands, we need to go back and really revise this and turn around this fixture, because we are going to go into that game of football. If at all Spurs have gone ahead to win and Aston Villa, who will be 12 points behind Aston Villa and 9 behind Tottenham Hotspur, meaning that all you have to do is to go ahead and really beat this side hands down. Then we are having something from BBC again before I call in for my prediction that only the bottom sides, Burnley and Sheffield, have lost more Premier League games than Brentford this season. Since a 3-game win run in October, November, the Bees have just won just 3 of their past 18. So I've gone ahead to read to you the last 7. They've not gone ahead to win. They've managed, I think, 1 draw, and they've gone ahead to lose I think they've managed 2 draws and they've gone ahead to lose 5, meaning that they're in a bad shape of their season. But with him, when we're coming back, Ivan Toney on the pitch, something can happen. They can really pick back, but I think we can really cause havoc to them. Lastly, United have won more games by 1 goal margin, 12 of their 15 victories than any side in the Premier League this season. So we've gone ahead to win 12 out of 15 games in the Premier League with a goal margin of 1. Now you know what it means. Now, when I look at all that, I think we are going to win that game of football by 3-1. That is it. We are going to score 3, and Brentford will come in through and obviously get themselves up and running, but we'll stop them and we'll give them a beating of their lives. So that is my prediction. I call upon for your predictions into the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about Man United taking on Brentford, and who do you want to start in your starting 11, and who would you want Ten Hag to drop? That is it. So tell me your thoughts about the team of Man United and who you want to obviously come in through and really take us to the levels that are really called for, and we're here to see to it that a lot really goes the way of Manchester United. So it's a very huge game. It means a lot, as I've told you. If Spurs and Aston Villa win, by the time we go into this fixture, we'll be 12 points behind Aston Villa and 9 points behind Tottenham Hotspur. So in all means, we need to win this game of football, but we are almost going to be having our best team there, because if you're told you're missing out on only Lisandro Martinez, who is expected to make it on the bench, that would be something great for the club of Man United and the rest of the people that are really well conversant with what United does day in, day out. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokan David is my name. That's what I had to say about this game of football. But I know we are left with 10 games. If we do well, we can see ourselves go into the top 4. All we need to do is that let's win our games. Let's win our games and let's not lose games. Let's beat these teams. Remember, on Thursday we are playing against Chelsea away in London, and we are going to be playing 2 games away in London in a space of like 4 or 5 days, meaning that we need to put ourselves to the level best of this tournament and really get back to where we deserve to be. Erik ten Hag is here to stay, and he wins, he cements this, because every time you're going to lose a game in these remaining games, the 10, you're going to see a week occupied with lots of news and stories that Man United is not gonna stay with Erik ten Hag. They're planning to part ways with Erik ten Hag. You see, to it that after beating Liverpool, they've got to come out and really build up such stories. But how is it going to be for all we lose another game? So all we need to do is to win these games of football. And the beauty is that we are having most of our players back, and it's now Luke Shaw, Tarhel Malacia, Martial, I think those 3, and Harry Maguire that are really out of action. But the rest are really here to take us into where we deserve to be at the start, at the side of Man United. Thank you very much for hanging through. This is Rokan David. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslims, Ramadan Mubarak. Ciao, ciao.